Well, hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now you are seeing this video, it means that I have a new banknote. Well, just not a new banknote, new banknotes. And also got a free coin over here. This is an old 25-cent coin from the Philippines. Features Juan Luna, who I believe was one of our older generals, or was he an author? I forgot, but I believe he's a general, and he is the old loco of the Central Bank of the Philippines. Now I've actually gotten multiple free coins, but I just put them in the extra coin pouch because I already have them. So anyways, I've got these three new banknotes. I've got this banknote from Bahamas, Poland, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now I already have banknotes from these three countries, so I'll show you these ones that I have. So this is my first banknote from the Bahamas, my first banknote from Poland, which is actually the newest, well, it's not the newest actually, and this is my first banknote from Trinidad and Tobago. Now this is actually the first banknote that I wanted to buy from Trinidad and Tobago, but when I saw online it was very expensive, and this one only cost me like 70 pesos, so it's a good deal, you know. And also the Polish Zloty, this 100 Zloty is actually 1,100 something pesos, but this one only cost me 100 pesos. So in total these three cost me 235, and I believe that also includes the shipping fee. But anyways, let's start off first with this Bahamian banknote. So this is one of my favorite currencies out there. This is the Bahamian Dollar. I believe this is on par with the US dollar. One Bahamian Dollar right now is 61 pesos, and I believe so is one US dollar. So the front of the banknote features Sir Lyndon O. Pindling. He was a former Bahamian Prime Minister. He was the Prime Minister from 1969 to 1992, and he was also the first Prime Minister, yeah. He was the first Prime Minister of the Bahamas. He is regarded by some as the father of the nation, having led the Bahamas to majority rule and independence. And over here, just like the current banknote, it still features the islands of the Bahamas. Now we go to the back and we see a parade. So over here is the Royal Bahamas Police, and over here is a yellow elderflower or a Tacoma stance. And over here is the coat of arms of the Bahamas. Now for a banknote issued back in 2008 or in the 2000s, this is quite a beautiful banknote, and this is actually the last issue. So you can see it says Series 2015. In the end of the video we will talk more about the security features, but up next is this 100 Polish Zloty banknote. So the front features King Władysław II Jagiello. Now he was the Grand Duke of Lithuania beginning in 1377 and King of Poland from 1386 until his death. As Grand Duke he ruled Lithuania from 1377 to 1381, from 1382 to 1401, at which time he became the Supreme Duke of Lithuania in exchange for naming his cousin Vytautas as the new Grand Duke. Władysław, if that's how you read it, because there's these stuff, oh my gosh, it's Jagiewo, because there's these stuff on the L. Władysław II initially served as the King of Poland alongside his wife Jadwiga until her death in 1399, and then the sole ruler until his death in 1434. So the back features a white eagle on the shield of the coat of arms of the king's tombstone. Below the shield are a helmet, and a Teutonic mantle and two swords, referring to the vicious Battle of Grunwald in 1410. To the left of the shield is the outline of the castle in Malbork, which is the biggest castle by land area in the world. Hopefully, if there's any Polish people watching this, I pronounced those words just right. Now up next is this banknote from Trinidad and Tobago. This is one of the banknotes. This is one of the first polymer banknotes that I've seen and wanted to get. And you know when was the time I first saw this? It was back in 2020. Yes, 2020 or 2021 I believe, when I first saw this, and I was like, oh cool, this banknote from Trinidad and Tobago, I'd like to have that myself someday. And I guess 5 years later I eventually got it. You know, it's like kind of hard to buy these kind of banknotes online, because like they're quite niche in my opinion, and you know they're like in different continents, so obviously they're quite hard to. I'll talk more about that later. The front of this Trinidad and Tobagan banknote has their coat of arms. So in the coat of arms it says, "Together we aspire, together we achieve." And I believe that's a great motto to have. And over here in the left side is a scarlet ibis, or a Eudochimus ruber. And over here is the national flag of Trinidad and Tobago. Over here in the back features two buildings. So this building here on the left side is the central bank of Trinidad and Tobago. This is actually called the Eric Williams Finance Building, which is in Port of Spain, which is the capital of Trinidad and Tobago. And over here on the right side is the Red House, which is the Parliament Building, which is also in Port of Spain. So, like I said earlier, we will be talking about more of their security features. Their security features are one of the reasons why I actually bought them, and also their design, but it's mostly the security features, because you know, it's so shiny. Who wouldn't even want to buy banknotes for the sake of security features? So these two are paper notes. We'll get to, like, yeah, I don't know, but these two are paper notes. So obviously in every paper note you'd have a watermark, which if you just get a light source, so if we point a light behind it, you could see the watermark right there. It's just the bigger portrait, the watermark. And you could also see what we call an electrotype. That number 1 right there is an electrotype. And this pattern here, this thing here, that is called a see-through register. So if you point a light behind it, you could see an image form. See that? Really cool, right? And over here is what I believe is the latent image. So it's two latent images. So if you tilt that, you could see a flower, and this has $1 as well. And down here we could see flamingos as well as a latent image. Now these black things over here, that is what's called a windowed security thread. So this one is a color changing one, so when you like tilt it, it changes color from black to green. And when you point a light behind it, you could see the line form. You could also see a fully embedded security thread here on the right side. And over here, this green thing, I don't really know what this is, but if you tilt it, it's very shiny. I love that, but I don't really know what's the purpose of that. I guess it's to be shiny. Now the back has an iridescent ink. So if you tilt it, you can see the iridescent ink of that same flower we saw earlier in the see-through register. And that's basically it for this banknote's security features. Now we get on to the Polish banknote. So just like the paper note earlier, we also have a watermark. Let me hold this right. We have a watermark, we have a see-through register, which is in the form of a crown, we have this fully embedded security thread with the words in there. We also have this latent image down here, which is again a crown. And we have this thing here which changes color, so you could see it's purple, but when we tilt it, it turns into gold. Say that. And just like the Bahamian note earlier, I don't know what's the purpose of this. It's another foil thing, but when you tilt it, it's shiny. And there's no iridescent ink at the back, sadly. Now this Trinidad and Tobago note doesn't have all that cool shiny security features. This is the polymer banknote. This one is quite advanced. So it has this small window over here. For some reason they didn't make the window big. I guess it's a budget thing. So there's this clear window over here. Has Trinidad and Tobago and number 1. And down here, if we point a light behind it, there is the number 1 right there, or the denomination 1. And you know, it's very obvious, but this is supposed to be like the security thread earlier. So when you point a light behind it, you could say that right there. It's very obvious, but that's the purpose of it. And that's pretty much it. Or is it? Let's turn off the lights and get a UV light. This is the real magic. Okay, there's nothing much in this Polish note. So yeah, that's the UV features of this banknote. So yeah, these are my new banknotes from the Bahamas, Poland, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now these feel new right now, but over time I'm gonna get used to them. Gonna get used to seeing them like how I do with most of my banknotes here. But the beauty in them will never disappear. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. And I hope that next time it would be some of the ones that I've wanted to get for a very long time. That's from me, and goodbye.